Hey guys, Foxtrot here. Today I figured I would do a overall broad video on how you can be improving yourself as a League of Legends player, the steps you can be taking to become better at this game. Now, like I said, I'll be doing this from a League of Legends point of view, but these tips will be broad enough that you can apply them onto any game that you want to improve on in the future. So if you're not happy where you stand currently in the game, or you just want to get better overall, then hopefully this video should be able to help you out. So the first thing you need to do in order to get better at a game is to admit that you suck at it. Now, I know this sounds really stupid and kind of harsh, but really, you're not going to get anywhere unless you admit to yourself, unless you say that actually, yeah, I'm not good enough and I want to improve. You really need to actively have the mindset that you want to become a better player. If you're kind of just coasting along, playing games, expecting to become really good, then chances are that's never going to happen. And even if it does happen, it's going to take far too long. By putting yourself in the right mindset, then you're going to learn a lot faster. You'll also need to leave any kind of pride or arrogance behind you at the door, because that has no place in helping you improve as a player. I actually did a video on that, so if you want to have a look at that in a bit more detail, then just click the link on the screen now or check it out in the description. Once you've got the right mindset, I don't really feel as though there's any strict order or code that you need to follow to be a better player. All the advice I'm giving you are just different things you can be doing and resources you can use to improve as efficiently as possible. So firstly, I find if you're going to be a student, then it's fitting that you find yourself a teacher to learn from. The great thing about the internet is that the number of teachers you have, or the teaching you receive, is only limited by the time that you want to invest. So there are several ways that you can find your own teachers, and I think the best way to do it is probably to have a personal tutor, so to speak. So if you've got a friend or someone who can give you personal lessons, then you'll learn quite a lot from that person. However, I don't think that this option is available to most people. So as an alternative, streams and videos on YouTube are a really good way to learn from other people without having to be too personal with them. Whenever you're watching a stream or a gameplay video on YouTube, you can look and see what people who are better than you can see what they're doing, and you can see how you can employ some of their aspects of their gameplay into your own to improve yourself. And the key question you need to be asking yourself when you are watching these streams or these videos is you have to ask yourself why. Constantly be asking that question, why? Why are they doing this? Why are they doing that? Why did they go here? Why did they do this? All of these questions, you just need to be thinking about their thought process, what they're thinking about when they're doing different things. It's important you know why people do things and the thought process behind those things, because you're much more likely to replicate those good actions if you know why they happened in the first place. Now, not all video makers and not all streamers will be explaining their thought processes, so you kind of have to do it for yourself. You have to look at their games and see why they're doing certain things. However, this can be a bit tricky if you just don't know why certain things are occurring, and that's perfectly understandable. Ideally, you want to find yourself a teacher who does explain their actions. Now, I'm not going to list any at the moment because I want this video to stay as relevant as possible in the future, but feel free to check the comments, and if you do have someone you want to recommend, chuck them in the comments so other people can maybe go and watch them for themselves. The next point, and this is fairly obvious, but a great way to be getting better at the game is to just be playing the game. So if you're like not even level 30 yet in League and you're worried about not being a good player, don't worry about it, because you just need to play more, get more games under your belt and get more familiar with the game so that you can then build upon that and improve. You can do as much theory as you want, but it's always a good idea to be playing the game as well. This next point is something that I have covered in a previous video of mine, and again, if you want to see that video, then check out the link that I'll be placing in the description. But basically, you want to be focusing on yourself and self-improvement. You want to have accountability when you're playing, and you don't want to be making excuses. Now, it's easier to make excuses in team games like League of Legends than it is in solo games, and this is one of the reasons why League has such a toxic community, or a perceived toxic community, and why elo hell is such a big deal, because people are blaming their team far too much. They're not actually improving themselves by doing that. In fact, they're hindering themselves from improvement. But this still does show its face in solo games as well, so things like Hearthstone. If you're just blaming your losses on getting an unlucky card draw or the enemy getting a particularly lucky card draw, then you're not thinking about what you could have done better in the game. You're just thinking about how you got unlucky, and that doesn't help you for improving. The self-reflection is an integral part of becoming a better player. Now, a great way to be doing this in League itself is to have LoL replay, or hopefully if Riot ever releases it, the replay client, which means you can look back on your past games, see what you did, see how you performed, and then you can see where you went wrong, and hopefully you can learn from those mistakes and not make them in the future. But even if you don't have LoL replay working or anything like that, you can still self-reflect pretty well. Instead of just instantly hitting that play again button, take some time and think about what you did in the past game, see what went well, what you should be doing more of, see what went poorly and what you should be avoiding. Most importantly though, don't blame things on external factors. Don't be afraid to shoulder some of that blame yourself. But don't bury yourself in all the negativity. It's good to blame yourself at times so that you can recognize your mistakes and therefore iron them out, but you can easily get overwhelmed if you're blaming every single little thing on yourself. So make sure you stay healthy with what you're doing. And remember that it's fine to make mistakes. It's fine to play poorly as long as you learn from that. And the last point, the last piece of advice that I want to give to help you improve as a player is persistence, dedication, and to not get frustrated at yourself. You won't just become faker overnight. You're not going to become the world's best player in one day. Getting better at something is a process, and it's something which can get quite annoying when things don't go too well, things don't go your way. If you don't feel like you're improving, things can get very frustrating. However, it is important to not give up, to keep your eyes on the prize, to recognize that sometimes you're just going to have bad days, and that's okay. And so, from my opinion, that is the best advice that I can give you guys on how to improve as a league player, but also as a player for any other kind of video game. So I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. Remember to keep at it and you'll get better, no doubt. And if you did enjoy it, feel free to give it a thumbs up and subscribe to me too if you want to see other kind of videos like this. You can also check me out on my Facebook, my Twitter, and my stream on Twitch. All those links are in the description. But thanks very much for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video.